If ever there was an uncomfortable time for a cabinet minister to land a huge financial windfall, it's now. Amid a raging political battle over the cost of living, Sky News has learnt that the Health Secretary Jeremy Hunt is poised to make millions of pounds from the sale of a company he established before becoming an MP. Hotcourses, an online education business, is expected to be sold to Inflexion Private Equity, an investment firm, for about £35 million. That would value Mr Hunt's 49% stake in the company at approximately £17 million, with a deal possibly wrapped up in time to augment his Christmas shopping budget.
There are cabinet ministers whose fortune is very largely inherited, and I would have thought Jeremy Hunt feels politically a lot more comfortable with being a self-made multimillionaire than perhaps somebody like George Osborne, the Chancellor, who inherited a lot of his wealth.
The Cabinet is certainly not short of wealthy individuals. According to recent estimates, the Defence Secretary Philip Hammond's personal wealth stands at more than £8 million. William Hague, the Foreign Secretary, is thought to be worth £4.8 million. The Chancellor George Osborne is said to have a £4.5 million fortune, and David Cameron is said to be worth £3.8 million. Mr Hunt's jackpot could hardly come at a more awkward time. The juxtaposition of pay freezes for many NHS staff and the Secretary of State's new wealth risk handing opponents here in Whitehall a loaded political gun. That was the view of one prominent trade union official. This is just one more example of government ministers having nothing in common with ordinary people. He pockets millions and takes the axe to our NHS as though it means nothing. How can a man of such wealth possibly understand the problems that the majority of people face today? Others say that Westminster would benefit from having more entrepreneurs at a time when economic recovery is a top priority.
Having made money, being successful in business and in private enterprise should never be a barrier to going into public service. And I don't think it's incompatible with having an understanding and a compassion and a conviction or an interest in running public services after you've made that money.
The Health Secretary's aides make it clear he is not involved with decisions about the sale of the business. But with economic divisions likely to be one of the key battlegrounds of the next general election campaign, Mr Hunt's cabinet colleagues might not be quite as enthusiastic about his payday as he is. Mark Kleinman, Sky News.